This is Air India Flight 171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner flying from Ahmedabad to London. Just 32 seconds after takeoff on June 12, 2025, the aircraft crashed into a college building, killing 260 people, including 241 on board and 19 on the ground. Today, we explore what really happened, who may be responsible, and the latest investigative findings. Section 1, Incident Overview. Flight AI-171 lifted from Ahmedabad at approximately 13:39 IST, 0809 UTC. Just seconds later, both engines lost power. The plane descended sharply into the BJ Medical College campus, about 1.5 kilometers from the runway. Wreckage was extensive. Survivors included one passenger on board and dozens injured on the ground. Section 2, Casualties. Passengers, crew on board, 242, 230 passengers plus 12 crew. Fatalities on board, 241. Ground fatalities, 19. Total deaths, 260. Ground injuries, approximately 67 seriously injured. Section 3, Causes under investigation. Fuel switch malfunction or human error. The preliminary investigation by India's AIB found that both engine fuel control switches flipped from run to cut off about 3 seconds after takeoff, cutting off thrust from both engines. Within seconds, they were moved back, but it was too late to recover. Mechanical fault? FAA and Boeing have stated they found no mechanical or design flaw in the 787's fuel control unit or its locking mechanism. Following inspections and testing, Boeing had issued a safety advisory in 2018 about possible design vulnerabilities, but it did not mandate retroactive changes, and Air India reportedly did not act on it fully. Pilot action or intentional act. Cockpit voice recordings captured one pilot asking the other, "Why did you cut off the fuel?" The response was, "I did not do so." Several aviation experts and a former NTSB investigator now treat the crash as likely intentional, noting it's nearly impossible to flip both cutoff switches within 1 second without intent. Expert Anthony Brickhouse told People magazine the evidence points strongly to deliberate action, as alarms and warnings would sound immediately upon fuel cutoff. Yet no external fault was found. In Las Vegas, former NTSB investigator Greg Faith stated the crash is now being treated as a criminal investigation, akin to prior cases of intentional pilot-caused crashes. Section Does Who's Responsible. First, pilots, Captain Sumit Sabharwal and First Officer Clive Kunda. Voice recordings. Switch behavior, raise questions. Neither has been officially accused yet. Second, Air India. CEO says no mechanical fault. Critics point to failure to follow FAA advisory. Third, Boeing and FAA. No defect found. FAA confident switches were safe, but retroactive advisory not mandated. Fourth, Indian AIB. Leading investigation. Final report expected in 18 months to 2 years. Investigators have not formally assigned blame, but the focus remains on why the switches moved, whether due to pilot error, intentional act, or overlooked safety procedures. Section of Fallout and Broader Impact. India's regulator ordered audits of fuel switch mechanisms on all Boeing 787 and 737 jets by July 21st. No lock defects were found in inspections. Public outrage and distrust have grown, with families demanding transparency. Some UK families have even reported misidentification of remains in caskets, heightening grief and tension. Aviation psychiatry experts warn of rising flight anxiety among frequent flyers following the tragedy. Section 6, Summary and Takeaway. What we know: engines shut down shortly after liftoff due to fuel switches moving to cutoff. No mechanical fault found. What's unclear: why the switches moved and whether it was pilot error, deliberate act, or process failure. The investigation remains active and ongoing, with the final report expected by mid-2026. This remains one of the most contested and tragic aviation incidents in recent memory, marking the first fatal hull loss of a Boeing 787 since its entry into service in 2011. We'll continue to update this story as the official report emerges and more facts come to light. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay informed. And let us know below, what do you think? Was this pilot error, system failure, or something far more deliberate?